Welcome to Michigan Out of Doors. I'm Jenny Olson, and this week we're going to show you a couple of the very last ice fishing trips for the season. We're going to start out with a world ice fishing competition that happened here in the States. Our good friend Kelly Gotch was able to be there with a camera in hand. She followed along with the U.S. team to see how they did, and Jimmy was also out on the ice this week too.
Well, that's right, Jenny. There's been a good perch bite up on PM Lake in the Ludington area, and I was able to get up there and capture some good fishing, one of our last ice fishing trips of the year. And after that, we're going to stop in with our friends over at the DNR and find out what they're doing to make sure we get kids interested and excited about game management. Lots of good stuff on this week's show. You stay tuned. I'm Jimmy Gretzinger. It's time for Michigan Out of Doors.
From the first spring rains to the soft summer breeze, dancing on the pine forest floor, the autumn colors catch your eyes. Here come the crystal winter skies. It's Michigan, Michigan out of doors. Someday our children all will see this is their finest legacy, the wonder and the love of Michigan. As the wind comes whispering through the trees, the sweet smell of nature's in the air. From the Great Lakes to the quiet stream, shining like a sportsman's dream, it's the love of Michigan we all share.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Greenstone Farm Credit Services, making recreational land ownership possible across Michigan and northeast Wisconsin. Begin your land financing journey at one of Greenstone's 37 locations or visit greenstonefcs.com. By Meyer, a destination for hunting, fishing, and camping. From bug spray and tents to GPS and gas, Meyer has nearly everything you need to take on nature and get you there. Meyer. By Pictured Rocks Boat Cruises of Munising, exploring Lake Superior's Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore with its sandstone cliffs, caves, waterfalls, and lighthouses. Pictured Rocks Boat Cruises on the web at picturedrocks.com. By Country Smokehouse, offering a variety of meat products. Country Smokehouse is located 3 miles south of I-69 on M53 just south of Imlay City. Country Smokehouse is a meat processor, a butcher, and a destination for sportsmen.
Hi everyone, I'm Kelly Gotch. I wanted to share this next story with you because it's good for America and good for fishing. Did you know that there's a world competition for ice fishing? And each year, several guys from right here in Michigan qualify for the team. I've had the honor of traveling around the world doing video for Team USA for the past 5 years. Each year we go to a different country, but this year the competition was right here in the good old USA. Take a look. The biggest competition in the world in ice fishing recently came to America. The World Ice Fishing Championship, a global ceremonial competition, was here for only the second time in history. The ice on Big O Plain in Wausau, Wisconsin would be the grounds for the weekend tournament. 11 countries of the world's best ice anglers traveled from all over the globe in February to get here and compete. The WIFC is a well-established international sporting event, similar to the Olympics. Made up of anglers from most major U.S. ice states, our U.S. team won the gold medal the last time we competed on our home soil in 2010. Since 2008, when the team was formed, the U.S. team has also competed in Poland, the Ukraine, and Kazakhstan. Americans have had to adapt to small European fish, equipment, and techniques. But here, with big American panfish as the target, the other countries must adapt. Captain of Team USA, Mike McNett, discusses how the visiting competition stacks up.
You know, typically when you think of ice fishing, you think of being in a shanty or sitting on a bucket all day long, and it's a whole different ballgame out here. It's the techniques that come from Russia, using the smaller palm rods and ultralight 2mm jigs. I don't know that they're going to work here, but they're trying them. And you know, the Americans, we adapt and we fish their small style there, but we're thinking that our larger jigs and our style of fishing in the column for crappies is going to be successful.
3 grams at a time. Whatever it takes.
The gloves come off during competition time, but sharing information is part of the fun of world competition and international friendships. As competition day neared, Team USA member and previous gold medal winner Mike Bodecker of Lansing, Michigan, took some time with first-time competitors, Team Japan.
With a spinning reel, you use a drag and let them pull out there.
Yes.
But my drag is just my finger.
Oh, finger drag.
Yeah. Very cheap reel. Only $3. Yeah.
Many camaraderie-building events occur in the week leading up to the tournament. This year, the nations gathered for a ceremonial introduction of the teams at Wausau's Grand Theater, welcomed by the mayor.
Welcome to the Wausau area. We're excited to see you here.
An evening at the Fillmore enticed USA's Michael Thompson to get on the mic and share his bullhead song.
Next time I go fishing, I'm not gonna whine, never! Cause if I hook a bullhead, I'll just cut the stinking line. No more bullhead! No more bullhead.
Some musically inclined members of Team Russia took the stage as well. It was a fun celebration that strengthened international friendships and capped off the week of pre-fishing well. The official kickoff to the competition is when things turn toward the serious side of international competition. The opening ceremony that took place in the Plaza Ballroom brought on an air of patriotism and pride. Native Americans were honored during the ceremony, sharing some American culture with the visiting nations. The competition days create a mix of nerves, excitement, and concentration amongst the anglers, each one doing his personal best to make his country proud.
Good, man. Saw lots of deer on the way out here and an eagle, and that's a good omen, and so we're looking to have a good day today there.
You know, I got kind of a little emotional this morning. You know, I could taste that gold medal.
The day we've all been waiting for. We're all for one and one for all here.
I think that they'll catch some fish.
Competitors took the ice, and spectators from near and far filled the sidelines to watch.
We are from Poland.
USA! USA! USA!
Each team consists of 5 fishers, 1 alternate, a captain, and a coach. Most teams also bring support personnel, such as spotters, trainers, and managers. The ice is sectioned off into 5 half-acre zones. 1 angler from each country will fish each zone. After the official inspection of gear, there is a 5-minute warning horn, allowing anglers to enter the zone. And when the final horn sounds, the race is on. This competition truly tests one's skill and determination. No power equipment is allowed, causing anglers to hand drill nearly hundreds of holes through extremely thick ice. Most anglers use tiny palm rods and very quickly hand line fish in. It's live bait only, and using ground bait and feeding techniques is part of the game for most countries, many of whom have tens of thousands of anglers trying out for their country's team each year. It's a very serious competition, with locations worldwide putting bids in, vying to host it.
One of the reasons we brought it to the big old plain is the other countries are used to, in the 3-hour competition, catching as many fish as they possibly can. They may void a couple of the species, but with the restrictions here in Wisconsin at 25 panfish, we've also introduced carp, and there are other rough fish like bullhead that I doubt we'll catch, but there's definitely shiners in here.
The U.S. has adapted well to shiner-sized fish overseas, and now with the addition of carp to the tournament bag this year, U.S. anglers now had to adapt on our home ice. Already common to many European anglers, we practiced finding and catching carp through the ice. Michigan's own Myron Gilbert got one during practice.
Yay! Myron, Dan.
Carbola, baby.
a gold medal swinging type fish right here, baby.
Going into the final day, the U.S. was in 7th place, and you could see the intensity in the air.
USA! All right, fellas, go get them. This is some stressful stuff when you're doing it for your country, let me tell you guys. It's.
I tell you what, thank God for the manufacturers producing these warm clothes. We are minus 21 degrees, crystals in the air, the frost.
Anglers are ranked based on the order of their finish in their zone by the total weight of panfish and rough fish caught. They get 2 flags and may only fish a hole that they have flagged. This allows them to protect one hole while fishing another. Every second of the tournament counts, and most anglers will not stay in one spot for long if they aren't continuously catching fish. They'll rely on a spotter to let them know what's caught around them.
You keep people to keep an eye on them for me, Michael. You're my eyes, buddy.
To avoid a yellow card, they must stay at least 5 meters from another angler's flagged hole. The international jury is on hand to measure and act as judges.
Sure could use a carp about right now.
When the final horn sounds, officials collect all fish for the weigh-in. Congratulations and speculation on results begin on the ice.
I got bluegills, probably 5 of them like that. They're probably over 6 inches. They're worth like 4 or 5 perch a piece.
The weigh-in got a little rowdy as the top 3 teams learned of their medal placement. Our team took 4th place, missing the bronze medal by a hair. And the top stick for Team USA was no doubt Michigan boy Chad Schaub, who won his sector on day 2, earning him the individual bronze medal. Sergei Bolkin of Russia took silver, and the individual gold medalist was Tony Stenberg of Finland. For the team medals, Lithuania took bronze, Finland took silver, and the gold medal went to Team Russia. Fishing has brought us all together. The gold medal is what every angler is truly fighting for. The U.S. team is proud to now be established as part of this elite World Federation of Anglers. Qualifying is open to everyone, and we have members from their 30s all the way to their 60s who form a solid mix of experience and stamina. USAIceTeam.com has info on qualifiers, as well as the in-depth rules and photos from past competitions.
Well, special thanks to our good friend Kelly Gotts for bringing us that story, and staying with the ice fishing theme, I was able to get out on one of our last ice fishing trips of the year on PM Lake. Looking for one last ice fishing story took me toward home this year. Just outside of Ludington, on PM Lake, the boys were finding perch.
Nice, juicy little wiggler.
That's the secret, eh?
Well, it was yesterday.
The setup is pretty simple. 1/4 ounce of weight, 2 hooks tipped with a minnow or a wiggler, then hope for the best.
Sean caught him pretty good yesterday, but it was a little later in the morning. We're here fairly early. We're going to give it an attempt there. We're going to spread out with some, minnows and wigglers, and we're going to be bait fishing. And then after we get these set up, which we can fish 3 rods per person in Michigan here, we're going to scatter it around. Hope even Jimmy will catch a couple. I've been with him before, so we'll see what happens. I know if he's got one and the rod's bent over, he can do it, though.
And what kind of, now PM Lake, you can catch just about anything right here.
Well,
right?
That's kind of why we got spinning reels and stuff here set up with the drag set, because we can catch browns, we can catch steelhead. Sean caught a big sucker yesterday, so we can catch almost anything here. This is the Great Lakes. It could be pike, it could be, we're targeting perch, but it could be almost anything.
That is one of the nice things about PM Lake here at the mouth of the Pere Marquette River, is that you can catch just about anything that swims in our Great Lakes. And of course, perch was the goal today.
Little fella.
Yeah, well, it's a start.
Yeah.
Now, how did you get hooked up with these guys out here today?
Well, I've known these guys. I've done the whole salmon charter fishing thing since I was 11. So unfortunately, I had to become friends with these guys.
Well, ripping each other has to be one of the best parts of fishing with a group of buddies. The teasing didn't stop all day, and the fish were starting to come around.
Myron, you're not setting the hook hard enough. Well, there's one. One for the skillet on a minnow. Minnow one. Well, we'll start with a small one, and it's something.
It's a keeper.
Well, we can't get skunked, so. His is good for your image.
They're getting a little better.
Yeah. They really do. It seems like you'll start when the school first gets to you. You're getting the little ones, the outside edge of the school, and as you get more, the middle of the school gets to you.
Okay.
It seems like the bigger ones are always in the middle of the run.
Now, most of these guys charter out of Ludington in the summer months, man. Even though they wouldn't tell each other this, they really know they're fishing.
And you'll catch the smaller ones, and then then you get the bigger ones, and then just like you say, it tapers off. But they all taste good, so we don't spit none of them out here. And on Lake Erie, where we guide there too, that's a pretty typical perch size right there. We catch a lot of eater varieties, and here you could take some trophy fish, 13, 14 inches here. It's renowned for that. But we probably won't catch tons of them, but we're going to catch a nice mess of fish to eat today before it's over.
Myron had what looked to be a pretty good fish coming to the surface.
Might be a perch, I don't know, something larger. Probably a sucker like you caught yesterday. Oh! There's what we call a pure Marquette perch right there, baby. That's what we're looking for. Holy mackerel, they're talking pike here. That's what we're looking for. Look at the belly on that sow. That's what we're looking for right there.
Well, it's good that we brought you today.
Well, I tell you, even a blind pig finds an acorn every now and then.
It's a big fish.
Ain't that a beaut? Look at that baby. Look at that. Well, that's what you come to the Great Lakes for.
How big is that, you figure?
Oh, let me lay over the bucket. It's over 12, I think. Yeah. But
I'd say it's probably
right around 12. Right around 12. Usually it's 12 inches over the bucket, but that's what you're looking at. That's pushing a pounder. That's exactly what we're looking for. Can't complain about that. I got to pull the transducer out of the hole for a perch. We call that a keeper where I come from.
Well, a keeper indeed. What a nice fish. Now, one strange part of the day is that just a few hundred yards away, guys were fishing in a boat right at the mouth of the PM River. Now, normally that would make me question the safety of the ice, but we had about 8 to 10 inches and had a quad out here as well. All morning, guys would trickle in and out, and really the fishing has been pretty consistent here for a week or so. And it will change here shortly as the warmer weather comes in. But it was a fun day for our last ice fishing story of the year. The fish were steady but not on fire, and the day was overcast. But you would be hard-pressed to find a better group of guys to hit the water with.
Another wiggler fish. We're going to eat him. Just a gold hook. Well, they're starting to show up here now. That's good. These are like banker fish. They show up on banker hours, about 9 o'clock.
That's good for us TV guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Good sun, all that stuff.
Myron and Dave fish a lot of ice fishing tournaments all over the country, and they really say that this kind of fishing is pretty preferable to inland fishing.
We fish a lot of inland lakes, but this, has that Great Lake flavor on it. So the fish usually aren't as fussy as like the inland lakes. These fish typically, you get away with larger baits. It's just a lot easier. You don't have to be near as fussy. You can come on out here. You can use a lot larger baits and move a lot more. And when they come in large flocks compared to inland lakes. They seem to be a lot fussier, a little more difficult to catch because a lot of your smaller lakes have seen a lot more baits and people fishing around them, so they can be a lot more difficult to catch, especially the larger ones. But out here, when you get a perch that size out here, they're a whole lot easier to catch here. You typically a lot bigger baits is the real key here. That attracts them better here. On the inland lakes, I would never dream of using the great big stuff compared to what I use on the Great Lakes. Here, where we're using just a sinker on the bottom and a pair of gold hooks, and fishing at its simplest and easiest.
Well, we soon saw why Sean does so well out here. His dog was taking perch from every pile and taking them to his. Now that is a well-trained dog. And Myron wrapped up our day.
Well, we've done better. We've done a lot worse. Well, we had a good time out here. Pretty typical Great Lakes fishing. We got some nice ones, as you can see from the smorgasbord sizes here. Should be a fine eating mess of fish, and we had a great time doing it. And I got to thank Dave Ellis here for guiding us today out here, showing us some of the tips how to catch them. And hopefully we can catch a few more before we're done. But thanks for Michigan Outdoors, baby. It was good seeing you.
Well, we had a lot of fun today, and even though we had some tough ice fishing trips earlier this winter, it was good to end the season the way you hope each trip would go. Decent fishing, good weather, and great guys. Here in Michigan's Out of Doors. Well, special thanks to the guys up there on PM Lake for letting me tag along. We're going to switch gears right now and find out what our DNR is doing to make sure we get kids not only interested in the outdoors, but in outdoor game management.
If there's one thing that most sportsmen can agree upon, it's the importance of keeping kids involved in the outdoors. Recently, the DNR took a proactive step towards keeping more kids in the woods and on the water by establishing a Youth Conservation Council. The council is designed in part to help the DNR, along with the NRC, to better understand the wants and needs of our future outdoorsmen.
The Natural Resources Commission asked us to take a look at establishing the Youth Conservation Council. And part of the reason for that was they've been looking at our recruitment, our retention levels, and looking at the number of youth hunting license sales and how our license and fishing sales are going. But not only that, but just a lot of the studies have been done nationally and in fact worldwide, where it just shows that kids are not getting outdoors as much as they used to, and they're very concerned about that from a number of different aspects. And asked us to take a look at that and go ahead and try to set up a Youth Conservation Council here in the state of Michigan.
This council is designed to represent all of the outdoor activities here in Michigan and will be composed of a diverse group of youngsters, chosen through an application process that began a few months ago.
The council is set up to hold a total of 25 kids. And they're going to be selected from statewide group. We're going to have, they're going to be appointed for a 2-year period. The kids are 14 to 18 years old. 2-year period. They can get, if they're interested in continuing on, they can get reappointed after that for another 2-year term, 2-year period. But that's that's kind of the building of that. The first year we're going to have half of them serve a 1-year term, half of them serve a 2-year term. So we have some turnover every year. That way we can have some continuity on a council that kids have been there. We're not building a new council every year. We actually got in about 90, just about 90, a little over 90 applications from all the way across the state. So we were real happy with the application process. Those have been reviewed by both an internal and an external group of reviewers. Internal people were part of a work group that we have here in the department. And then we also had some of our external partners take a look at the applications for us. And they went through those and selected out their top 5 we kind of broke it up into regions to make it a little bit easier for us to be able to review the applications. And it actually helped us with getting what we wanted to do was a geographic distribution of the candidates too. And so we're just kind of wrapping up that first process right now.
The main goal of the council is to help provide some perspective as to why less and less kids are spending time in the outdoors, and what we can do as an outdoor community to get more kids involved.
We want to find out what it is, how do we get those kids back, reconnect with those kids. Why are they making it? What are the choices they're making in what the recreation they're doing? Why is that? What would get them? Find out what would get them back outdoors. What are some of the things that they need? And it's probably going to vary from the different parts of the state. In some places in the state, it may be that they just don't have access to good outdoor areas. Urban communities, it may be they just don't even have access to good parks to get outdoors. In other places, it may be safety issues. It may be timing issues. Some of these kids are just a lot of kids are just really active in a lot of different things these days. And so we want to get a perspective on what it is, what are the barriers for these kids to getting outdoors, and then how can we help overcome some of those barriers.
Children are the future of our outdoor heritage here in Michigan, and it's important that we do everything we can to get kids involved at a young age. Hopefully this council will provide some perspective on how best to keep kids involved in the outdoors.
Thanks for joining us this week for Michigan Out of Doors. Coming up over the next couple of weeks, we've got some brand new shows for you. Next week, we'll show you Big Buck Night that happened at Outdoorama in Novi, and the following week, we'll show you Big Buck Night that happened in Grand Rapids at the Ultimate Sports Show.
Well, that's right, Jenny. We do have our big buck nights coming up over the next few weeks, and we were hoping this would be our last ice fishing story of the year, but with the weather hanging on being so cold, who knows, we may be ice fishing and turkey hunting all at the same time. But we do have a lot of good spring fishing, and turkey hunting is just a couple of weeks away, so make sure you stay tuned for all the good stuff we have coming over the next few weeks on Michigan Out of Doors. And if you missed part of this week's show or last week's show, you can always check out our website at michiganoutofdoorstv.com. We have full episodes of the show there, lots of fun stuff, and if you're on Facebook, we're on there as well, letting you know what's going on as we try to bring you a brand new episode of Michigan Out of Doors every week of the year. Thanks so much for joining us this week, and hopefully, if we don't see you in the woods or on the water, we'll see you right back here next week on your PBS station.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Zimmer Roofing and Construction in Port Huron, featuring Duralast roofing systems made in Michigan. Zimmer Roofing and Construction provides installation, maintenance, service, and repair, serving commercial and residential clients on the web at zimmerroofing.com. By Propane, exceptional energy. Propane retailers promote the safe use of Michigan-produced gas energy in homes, farms, and businesses across our great state. Learn more at usemichiganpropane.com. By Meyer, a destination for hunting, fishing, and camping. From bug spray and tents to GPS and gas, Meyer has nearly everything you need to take on nature and get you there. Meyer. Closed captioning is brought to you by Propane, exceptional energy. Propane retailers promote the safe use of Michigan-produced gas to outdoor enthusiasts across our great state.
We really feel blessed this year to be partnered with the Take Me Fishing organization, and takemefishing.org is an
I am a Michigan man. Changing seasons paint the scene like rainbow trout in a